Guys, I wanted to quickly talk to you about a coin that the Lord has been highlighting to me in this time, moment, and season. I'm going to give you a little bit of my history with my sentiments on this coin, and where we're at now with it. So I have been into cryptocurrency since 2021. And when I say into it, I mean like since God has been speaking about it a lot, I've been looking into it. I'm not a professional at it. I'm not like, there's some real gurus out there, and I'm not one of them. It's just I invest in wherever God um, shows highlights to me. Anyways, Terra Luna Classic was one that people were talking about a lot in 2021. However, at the time, God had strongly highlighted Shiba Inu to me and XRP. There are other coins, but the main two are the ones I just mentioned. How, in addition to that, I've seen so many people, talking about this coin, and all I was just like, listen, XRP and Shiba Inu will make me whole. Okay, I don't need Terra Luna Classic. It's just too much. I can't keep spreading myself thin. Let me focus on these other two. And I know, for lack of better words, you guys about this Terra Luna Classic can kick rocks. That's how I felt at the time, right? And however, I have noticed in the past where God would highlight something that's so um, simple, and he would make it clear amongst many people. And sometimes I would just be defined, be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I would notice I'd miss out on something had I just listened a little bit more and and stop dismissing it. So even though that was the case, I because I've had that experience in the past before, I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy maybe $40 worth of Terra Luna Classic, and um, that will be that'll be it. I'm not putting any more. I just wasn't into it like that. But I said I didn't want to miss out just because of stubbornness, so let me just drop $40 in there and see what happens. I left it, never thought about it again. No, despite various prophecies, I was just like, yeah, okay, let me continue on with um, the two main coins um, that I was talking about. And XRP within itself is a huge investment because you know it was cheaper than what it is now, but it wasn't cheap like a bunch of zero. So if I wanted to maximize on that, I'd have to really, really focus on it. And so, like I said, I didn't have the time for this for Terra Luna Classic. Anyways, last Monday, okay, last Monday, God pretty much showed me. He highlighted Terra Luna Classic to me. Like I just randomly started. I said, I haven't heard anybody talk about Lunk lately. And I said to myself, what happened to this? What happened to this coin? Sorry, guys, I have to close the door. But I was like, what happened to this coin? And no one's talking about it anymore. And then I said to myself, I'm just having this internal dialogue. And I said to myself, why do I care about this coin? Why am I asking what happened to this coin? This isn't a coin that as you can see, given my personal history with it, this isn't a coin that I care about. So why am I even asking about it? And then all of a sudden, the next thought that came is, oh my God, I better get more of this coin because I believe God is about to do something with this coin very soon. And I don't know, it's like God was just pretty much showing me, he put the thought in my head about the coin. And then I prompted myself to ask these various questions, which led me to understanding that this is God's way of telling me this coin is going to do something soon. And so I want to put that out there. By the way, I I used to get confused with this coin and another coin that's a little bit more money than this. So I put up the information so you guys know that this is the one that's actually being talked about. That was another thing about this coin. I was very frustrated because there were two going around. People were calling it Terra Luna Classic, Terra Classic, Lunk. And I'm just like, what is this Lunk? It was a very confusing thing for someone who was very new to crypto. And I was just like, whatever, I don't need you anyway. So, um, so I wanted to put that information out there. By the way, guys, I did another video I believe on May 15th, because of a word that the Lord gave me on May 13th, and it was about June. And I want you guys to, I'm going to upload it later. I want you guys to look at that video afterwards, just because it was a very, very powerful, relevant word to relevant word as of now. And I also want you guys to see the words that God was saying behind certain things that I believe, why, one aspect as to why we're having the wealth transfer. There are many other aspects, but not just, not it. I only spoke about one in the particular other video. So yeah, let me see. Hold on. Sorry guys, I had to figure out my train of thought. But anyways, we all know that we see in part and we prophesy in part, and this is just a puzzle. It becomes a puzzle between us and God directly. And so in addition to God highlighting this coin to me last Monday, I saw that a lot of other people recently have also been highlighted this coin as well. There was quite a silence and a pause on this coin where nobody just heard about it anymore. Nobody talked about it anymore. And some people are believing that one particular coin is going to kick off first. I'll say XLM. I'll just say it, XLM. And those proceeds, you would use it to put it in Terra Luna Classic. You know, I I don't know. I'm one of those people that I would like to do both, but I also like to be prepared for everything. So purchasing a little bit at this time would be very helpful if you're able to do so, just in case it, like I said, we see in part and we prophesy in part, and we may perceive that it's going to be one way and it's not. And so ideally, you'd like to be ready for most of the scenarios. So if you're able to, I would suggest, not financial advice, but I would recommend buying, just a little bit, just so you have some, even if it's $20 worth of it, and you put your price points based off of what you feel led to and any other prophetic trusted voices out there that you heard from. And the other thing is, what was I gonna say? Guys, sometimes I lose my train of thought. The other thing is, I realize just because God hasn't spoken to someone that is a trusted voice for you in the community about a particular coin, it doesn't mean that God is not really speaking to other people about another particular coin. And I say this to say, I knew of this coin in 2021. God has never highlighted it to me until now. And I believe it's because timing is key and timing is everything. God knows that if I had felt led to actually purchase this coin at that time, I would have heavily invested in it. And it probably wasn't the right time. And it would have probably, if what others are saying is correct, it probably would have been the wrong strategy. So if we are correct in the strategy of another coin is going to kick off and then we'll use some of the proceeds to purchase Terra Luna Classic, it makes a lot of sense to me that God would highlight this coin to me now, meaning this is something I want you to get ready for now. It wasn't a then type of thing, because imagine you this coin was highlighted to you earlier and you spent a lot of money trying to put it into that coin, and that's not the money you would have needed. You wouldn't have had enough money to put it into the coin that would have taken off first, that would have eventually once you get those proceeds, would have been reinvested into this. And I think that makes a lot of sense. So I'm just saying, just because the people that you actually trust in having the ability to hear doesn't mean that what they're saying is not accurate or whatever the case is. It just means maybe maybe for some people, God allowed them not to, based off of their personal abilities to invest, God may not have allowed them to that particular coin to be highlighted to them at the time. I just say that to say, because I'm one of those people, I'm all in or nothing. And because of that kind of mentality, which is not always good, you need a balance. I probably would have been heavily investing in something that God was going to use later and not now. And I would have enough proceeds to get enough later of it. So that's why I'm comparing it to a puzzle between us and God. And, that you take these words back to God for yourself. Um, Guys, sometimes, as I said before, it's really hard to make a lot of videos. So, because it's time consuming, and because of that, it takes me a lot longer, because I do have very, very important words, and I kind of want to kick myself for it, for not putting certain things out when I need to. It makes a big, you know, some of the words that God has given me is really, really important. So just putting that out there. I'll probably put some more out hopefully soon. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Um, just be patient with me, guys. More content will be coming, and they're very important for this hour. I love you guys. Bye.